What's going on YouTube? This is Lito Diaz with quick trips and tips, and I'm gonna give you some quick tips on how to have a great time on your quick trip to Amsterdam. Shout out to Toxic Suppression for supplying me this awesome t-shirt and this hat. It's a company that their mission is to end firefighter cancer. Their link is in the description down below. Check them out and also check them out on Instagram, Toxic Suppression. Thanks again, guys. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna talk about is transportation, getting from the airport to the city center. There's various ways to get there, but my two recommendations is the train or the bus. If you take the train, you're basically landing at a train station. The airport is a train station as well, so you can take the train right there from the airport. It's 5:20, and it takes about 20 minutes, and it's gonna drop you off at Central Station. Keep that in mind, because if you hostel, hotel, or whatever is far from Central Station, you're still gonna have to take an Uber, a walk, or a taxi. I took the bus because it dropped me off right across the street from my hostel. The bus is €6 one way, 10 for a round trip. It takes anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. And again, it stops in various stations. I stayed around the museums, so there's a stop right there at the museums. So just keep that in mind. Just compare the two and which gets you closer. You could also take an Uber, but they're really expensive. The bus is a red double-decker bus, and it's number 397, and you could get on it on platforms B15 through 19. Once you get into the city and you want to get around, to be honest, most of it you could do walking, but there is Uber service. But man, Uber is expensive in Amsterdam, so if you could walk it, do it. There is a bus system in Amsterdam. You could hop on and hop off of it. You could buy like a 1-day ticket, and you could even buy up to a 7-day ticket. If that's an option you want, there is that choice. I'll put the link to that website down below as well. All right, so where to stay? Amsterdam is broken down into a bunch of little boroughs. So my recommendations to stay are down below in the description with the name of the area and also a tiny little description of what it's like. If you are going with family and want it to be a little bit more quiet, stay around the museums or Vondel Park. Yeah, I'm probably saying that wrong, but whatever. If you're wondering if there's hotels and hostels near the red light district, there is. If that's like what you're going for, there is a bunch. If you're staying anywhere in the city, you can get to the red light district just by walking there. But there is hotels and hostels near that area. Again, just look at the description down below and read some of those descriptions on those little, on the areas around Amsterdam, for you to get a better understanding of what or where to stay. All right, so what to do when you're in Amsterdam. All right, obviously there's the red light district. Everybody knows the red light district. And that's the first thing that pops into people's minds when they hear the word Amsterdam. It's actually a very small area. You could go there with your kids during the day. It's not that crazy as people think during the day. Obviously at night it gets a little crazy, but during the day it's not bad. And it's a very small representation of what Amsterdam stands for and is, because there's so much more to do than just the red light district. But obviously the red light district, jumping on a hop-on, hop-off tour bus is definitely my recommendation for Amsterdam, because of all the stops and how organized it is in Amsterdam. A lot of the places you could probably do walking, but what I like about the bus is the fact that you have headphones on, you're getting some history. They're the things that you are looking to your left, they tell you a little bit of history of it, and it's awesome. Plus, it includes the boat. So you get to ride all around the canals of Amsterdam. Amsterdam is known for all the canals. And while you're in that boat, you could also hop on and hop off that boat. And one of the cool things about it is that it brings you to two major attractions in Amsterdam, which is the This Is Holland and the Adam Lookout. The Adam Lookout is known for that huge swing on top of the building where it makes you feel like you're swinging over the building. And then also the This Is Holland is like a flight experience. If you've ever been to Disney, it's compared to soaring. So I definitely recommend the hop on, hop off tour bus. The one I bought was $45 a person, but that's because it was a 48-hour plus the boat. But I'm going to put their web link down below in the description. That way you can click on it, and they have different options just for 24, just the bus, with canal, with museums. So depending on how much you want to spend and what you want to do, you can choose there at the site. But I do recommend the hop on, hop off tour bus. All right, so other things I recommend doing in Amsterdam is checking out one of their many awesome museums. In the description down below, I'll put each museum with a little description of what they offer and all that. They have a Van Gogh museum. They have this one with an R. I can't pronounce it, but Amsterdam has amazing museums. Rembrandt, if you want to go see Rembrandt, that's one of my favorite artists. that's somewhere you could do it, is Amsterdam. So check out one of the museums. Now keep in mind that they do book up very fast. So you have to book in advance. And on Sundays, they are jam packed. You'll see little placards outside saying, full, sold out. So just keep that in mind. With the museums in Amsterdam is that they book fast. So book in advance if you can. And Sundays, it's mayhem. All right, so for you beer lovers, it's your Heineken experience. You get to tour the brewery, see how they make it. I think the actual real brewery is no longer in Amsterdam, but it's still a tour of Heineken and how they make it. You get to taste it and whatever. I skipped out on it because I've been to so many breweries already, and I'm not really a huge fan of Heineken. I'm more of a Sam Adams fan. Boston. All right, so the next thing you could do is tour Amsterdam by renting a bike. Amsterdam is known for all of their bike transportation. It seems like everybody's on a bike. At the first, you're like, oh man, this is awesome. Like, I love all these bikes. And then the second day, you're like, okay. And then the third day, you're like, you really want to just push every person that's on a bike because they are crazy. They don't follow the street laws. You see cars coming from your left, so you're good. You think you're good to go, but a bunch of bikes are coming from the right. So just keep your head on a swivel. Respect that that's their custom. I'm just saying, like, I got annoyed because there were so many because I'm not used to it. But I still love the fact that there's literally bike lanes throughout the entire city. And with that said, you could take a bike to the countryside, which is one of my biggest recommendations if you're in Amsterdam, is to not just stay in the city. Tour outside of the city. The countryside of Amsterdam is just beautiful and there's lots to do. The bikes, again, if you rent a bike, you could take it out to the country because, like I said, there's bike lanes everywhere. Keep your head on a swivel because they're crazy on those bikes. Definitely recommend exploring outside the city, going to the towns of, you get your choice. Zanchance, where they have like a bunch of the windmills. I probably pronounced that wrong, by the way. You could explore inside of a windmill. The little town itself it's beautiful. You could go to the village of Volendam, where it's known for their fishing boats and cheese factories. You could go inside of a cheese factory and see and take a tour on how they make the cheese and taste a bunch of different cheeses. You could go to the island of Marking, where they're known for making clog shoes. You could go inside the factory and they have a little tour and explaining how they make it. They run the machine and everything. And, you have your choice of a bunch of those clogs. You could buy a bunch of clogs. But the island of itself of Marking is just beautiful and you're free to walk all around it. So I definitely recommend exploring out to the city. If you're there in the right season, like tulip season, you could go to Keukenhof Gardens. Again, in the description down below, I'll put each of these little villages with a description of what they have to offer. But I definitely recommend exploring outside the city. All right, so when it comes to foods to try, Amsterdam actually has a lot. Like a lot of cool little, things that are unique to Amsterdam, like the pannenkoeken, the puffertjes, they're raw haddock. Is it haddock or herring? Herring, raw herring. I actually found this awesome flyer on Pinterest and I put the link in the description down below. So if you want to click on that, download it to your phone. It has each of these, like a bunch of food items that, that Amsterdam has to offer with a little description of what it's like. The three that I liked the most were the pannenkoeken, which is their Dutch giant pancakes, which you could get savory or sweet. When I'm talking about savory, I'm talking like pepperoni with basil on top. My son loved those pancakes, and we went to the Pancake Bakery. So the Pancake Bakery is probably one of the best places you could get those Dutch giant pancakes. Puffertjes, which is another pancakes, but they're like tiny miniature pancakes with like a sweet little syrup on top. It's not maple syrup. Forget what it is though. With some powdered sugar. Those are awesome. And stroopwafels. You'll find stroopwafels all over the city. It's like a street food. And it's these little round waffle discs that have a thin layer of caramel on top, in the middle. And depending on where you go, they make them a little bit smaller, bigger. Some have toppings, some are dipped in chocolate with like some nuts sprinkled on them. Stroopwafels were amazing. The thing I didn't like, but it's a must try when you go to Amsterdam, is raw herring. My son did not like that. My son is one that he will try everything. One of his favorite foods is sushi. He loves sushi. He'll try anything. He likes spicy food. So he was up for it. He tried it, but he didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I definitely try. You have to try it. It's one of those things like you got to try when you're there, is raw herring. All right, so those are my quick tips for a quick trip to Amsterdam. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe, and ask me any questions down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Check me out on Instagram at Quick Trips and Tips. My actual video to Amsterdam is down below as well. Yes, this description is full of information. But my video is down there if you want to watch it. Also, check out Toxic Suppression on Instagram and check out their website and read up on it, because people don't really talk about firefighter cancer, but like 68% of firefighters end up with some sort of cancer because of all the toxic things that they're exposed to. We are exposed to. Yes, I'm a firefighter. Again, thanks for watching, and have a great day.